number 10. My number 10 is Slowbro. Uh, I Something about the design of Slowbro always looked really cool to me. Whether it was the way that the shelter looked on his tail, the ability to stand upright. I also really liked the toy. I want to say it's Mattel or Hasbro, but it could be another company, or maybe Kenner. It might have been Kenner. I really can't remember, but I liked the design of the toy so much that it always stuck with me. I liked the pink color. I liked that he was kind of a balance of water and psychic. You're going to notice in my list that I embrace water Pokemon. I would definitely, Cerulean City would be my chef's kiss place to be. But Slowbro has always been that one. Incredibly powerful. Slowpoke was kind of dopey. There was Slowbro, and I think they added Slowking after that. But yeah, Slowbro has always been up there as far as my favorites. That is my number 10. Number 9. Love Doug Trio. I don't know what's the way he looks, the three of them together. I also have a really powerful one. I'm replaying Pokemon Yellow right now, and I caught like a level 41, and he's been the face of my Pokemon party for a while. He's just clapping cheeks in Pokemon Yellow. Just use Dig or Slash or whatever. He's just doing great. The Diglett's kind of cute. I did enjoy the Diglett episode in the original Pokemon anime where the Pokemon would not come out of their Pokeballs and fight them. They were disrupting a construction project. Always thought Doug Trio was a really, really cool one. So that is my number 9. Number 8. I'm going to put Pidgeot here. Okay? I'm going to put Pidgeot here. And the reasoning is not for battle purposes. I'm not much of a fighter, okay? Yes, the concept of Pokemon basically revolves around training battles. In my older age, I'm very much a what can I use this Pokemon for? Can we can I use it for traveling purposes? Can we hang out or whatnot? There's going to be a couple on the list that I can use for that specific, for the fighting purposes, of course. Pidgeot's definitely one of them. But, man, if I could cut my car out and just fly on the back of a Pidgeot wherever I needed to go, wonderful. All right? It's big enough to carry humans, if I'm not mistaken. It's just a really cool bird Pokemon. I wrote a Easter story in 3rd grade, and I kept asking my teacher was very adamant about no Pokemon. So I did it anyways. I wrote about having coming down on Easter Sunday and having a Pidgey in the room. Something about birds and Easter, I guess, go hand in hand. A Pidgey, and it would evolve into a Pidgeotto, and very silly story, but it was something that I was required to do. So Pidgeot's always been one of those ones for me. When I originally had Pokemon Gold, Pidgeot was the first Pokemon I ever leveled up to 100. And Pokemon Gold was the first Pokemon game that I ever finished. My own version, not my cousin's version that I saved over the save file. So number 8 is Pidgeot. Number 7. This is where the water starts coming into play. If I had an Eevee and I had to make one choice, that choice would be Vaporeon. I love the look. I love the blue color. I love it's like basically like a water dog, right? Go in the water, you got this water dog playing around you. Very powerful. It was one of the cards that I always wanted when I was younger. I think I'd always get like a Jolteon. I always wanted the Vaporeon. Always wanted it. So that is my number 7. See, I like these for various reasons. Usually it's not like the best reason. I'm going to have some weird reasoning coming up. Number 6. The only reason why this Pokemon is on this list is because the connection it has with myself and my son. Pikachu. All right. I typically do not like mascot characters. As we progress through these various pop culture lists, I like a lot of non-main characters in a lot of things. Sidekicks. Usually the main ones, the main heroes who are I'm constantly told I have to like because they are the mascot character. I don't necessarily like. And there's that contrarian mindset that I was talking about when we basically first started this video. To see how much my son loves Pikachu is awesome. Like, to me, that's the gateway, right? That's the purpose of mascot characters, is to really hook people into a property. Mickey Mouse is the gateway to a big world of Disney characters, and Pikachu is that for Pokemon. There's just entire games dedicated to Pikachu, right? Detective Pikachu the movie, Hey You Pikachu the game. All the branding has Pikachu's face on it. The cartoon basically revolves around Ash and his Pikachu for years. But I really love the connection that I have, that Pikachu, my son is obsessed with Pikachu. And again, it's how we start our day every morning, is watching the Pikachu dance video. So that is my number 6. Number 5, back in the water. This elegant Pokemon would be so cool to surf on. And I'm talking about Lapras. Lapras is like, growing up a big cryptid guy. It's supposed to be the a play on like the Loch Ness Monster, Plesiosaurus, animals. And Lapras is just so elegant. I never had a Lapras card, but I remember seeing the Lapras card for the first time. Beautiful. I love the art style, the holographic effect on it. Lapras was, it was cool. It looked cool. On a personal level, I would love to sit on a Lapras and just hang out on a beach or travel on the open water like that would be ideal. Also, it's pretty powerful too with Ice Beam and whatnot. I love the skill it takes to get a really good Lapras photo in Pokemon Snap. You got to be really quick to get it to come up close to you. But it's one of those ones where if you're not paying attention, you really just don't notice it. I like the skill involved in that. So number 5, Lapras. Number 4, staying in the water. Gyarados is so cool. I've seen a lot of really cool artwork revolving around Gyarados. Some very like a Japanese kind of style artwork revolving around Gyarados. Seen some really cool photos of tattoos of Gyarados. The idea that a Magikarp, this useless fish that's more of a culinary desiccant kind of thing, becomes this powerful monster in the sea was so cool to me. For my first communion, I remember my very first, one of the gifts I got from my friend Jacob at the time was a Dark Gyarados card. I'm pretty sure it was Dark Gyarados, like one of the Team Rocket versions. Because he knew I loved it so much. And that was probably one of my favorite gifts I've ever received in my life. But that Gyarados card was awesome. Really cool. Another Pokemon Snap thing, getting him to appear behind the waterfall to get a good picture of him. The various sounds it makes. Must have Pokemon. And every time I boot up a game. So Gyarados is my number 4. And, you can go swimming on him too. Just chill out on him and go where I got to go. So that's my number 4. Number 3. I loved this one so much. So I used to, I'm not a good artist at all, but I used to draw pictures. Remember growing up, the staircase up to my room, I was in the attic. I was an attic child. I used to draw pictures of all the Pokemon that I knew of, and I had a wall. And one of my favorite ones to do was Haunter, who was my number 3. Haunter, I love the episode where Ash goes to the place and recruits him to fight against Sabrina and Kadabra. It's a fun episode. He shows the most personality of it. And you're going to see with my next selection that there's something about the second stage Pokemon that I adore because they're more often than not forgotten. But also, too, I didn't have anybody to trade with. I didn't have access to a Linksys cable, and the only way to get Gengar was via trade. So Haunter was when I finally got my hands on various Pokemon games, blue, yellow, red, gold, silver, whatever it may have been. Haunter was it. Evolve Ghastly, get Haunter, and just build him up. And he's actually pretty damn powerful on his own. Just a cool design, cool look, and the card used to terrify me. The card art used to terrify me. Same with Ghastly. It was like this weird 3D Ghastly, and it kind of scared me. But Haunter's my dude at number 3. Number two. I'm going to put Charmeleon. All right. Charmander, fantastic starter Pokemon. Charizard, one of the most famous Pokemon ever. I remember one of my favorite episodes of Pawn Stars, or segments of Pawn Stars. A guy brings in a bunch of graded Pokemon cards and tries to get like $1 million for graded Charizard cards of various first editions, stuff from Japan, various things. Very powerful Pokemon. But this is where that mainstream, like too mainstream for me kind of angle perception goes. Charmeleon is so, like, I feel like underappreciated. I really fully, truly believe that. Because even in the anime, Ash's time with Charmeleon was not very long. I think it was maybe 4, 5, 6, maybe even 6 episodes tops. Charmander evolves into Charmeleon. You get this whole angle where Charmeleon's kind of not nice. And then I feel like we're right at the episode where they uncover all the fossil Pokemon, Aerodactyl, and Charmeleon evolves into Charizard. And it's just so brief. I like his design. I like his, there's always this fascination with things that you can't control. And there's always a part of you watching that, hoping that Ash would finally tame Charmeleon. It just a vicious Pokemon with the slash and some of the fire attacks. When my Charmeleon toy was one of my favorites when I was younger, so I got to put Charmeleon up there really high. Absolute one of my favorites. I need to find one of the vintage old Charmeleons. And my number 1, it is my favorite starter Pokemon. It is my favorite, obviously favorite type. One of my favorite episodes of the Pokemon TV show, anime, Squirtle. And, the Squirtle Squad, of course. My favorite color is blue. Hint, hint. I like the color blue. And I love the art on the OG Pokemon Squirtle, the Squirtle card. He's on like a rock and he's shooting the bubbles. Absolutely fascinated with Squirtle. Again, the water connection, something I've always loved. Squirtle was a card that I had many different. I would try to collect. Like, that was one of the ones I really wanted. I actually have it in my car. I found a bunch of the OG Pokemon cards, and Squirtle was one of them that I had to have. I have a giant Squirtle pillow. It's like a very heavy pillow that I got from Target several years ago. And it's really nice, and my son enjoys it. I'm trying to think what other Squirtle. Oh, my aunt for Christmas one year got me a Squirtle watch. It was one of those talking electronic watches, and I wore that thing, and it was cool because every hour, or you could set like an animation. You could push a button. There was like a little Squirtle animation. So yeah, that is he's my number 1. The GOAT, and I think a lot of people agree with it too, that he's the best Gen 1 starter. Shout out to those. Shout out Team Squirtle. But that is it, everybody. That is my top 10 favorite Pokemon list.